Hello everybody. Now, like always, we will do something now. But what will be it? Yeah, first, let's go to the fingers, by the way. And press the del or in the numpad. You see numpad and the dot. This is the... I don't know how exactly. It's not comma, it's dot. Okay. So, we see this. And we have to make it... let's Control A. I'll apply all transformation and mirror it. Okay, it's on the other side. Let's go and do the same for this ones. Control A, apply all transformations. I'm selecting them with Shift. So click one, select the other with the Shift pressed, and then Control A, all transformations, and then this mirror we can copy to selected. You see, now if the last one I've selected is the one with the mirror modifier, because the others obviously don't have. Now I selected cube 1 and cube 2, but the last one is selected with the modifier, with the mirror modifier. I can go to this arrow here on the modifier and copy to selected. And now all the selected will have the same mirror modifier, which is kind of convenient. Maybe it's a little bit more advanced technique, but why not? Why not? Why can't we do some advanced technique? It's fine. And now we have this. The hands are pretty small. Maybe we can increase the size of them, but later. For now, we just need them to be like this. And we go to the head. And Control Tab again. Yes, Control Tab down. Sculpt mode. Click it. You know, I told you already, but I will tell it again because it's important. If you Control Tab and right away go down with your mouse, you don't have to click it, or go left. For example, Control Tab left. Oh, okay, I didn't do it fast enough. So Control Tab left, and we go to object mode. Control Tab down, and we go to sculpting mode. And if you are slow, you have to click it. So you have to be fast, basically. So now, with my tablet, I'm changing between my mouse and my tablet. It's always like that, I know. So I go to this head, which is a head. If I'm not on the head, I will Alt and Q, click on the head. This is the way how you select objects, and I told you I will repeat those things because I know there are a lot of short keys in Blender and you can forget them very easily. So I have to kind of remind you. Now, I like to put a little bit more meat here below the eyes, so he will have some cheeks. Sorry about the sound. It could be disgusting, I'm not sure. But for some people, I'm sure it's disgusting. And since people these days are very easily offended, everything is offensive these days, I have the habit to apologize. Although I'm not sorry at all. But I have to say I'm sorry because this is politically correct. And we have to be politically correct at least. Now, let's increase the resolution of the head. I think the shape of the head is relatively fine. Maybe we can refine it even more, but for now it's fine. Shift R, and then we see our polygons are big. But if we move our mouse, or in this case our tablet, a little bit on the side, we go 0.01 and click. And now we have to apply it with Control R. So Shift R to just get this grid, and Control R to apply it. By the way, when I made my first video in my YouTube channel, if you don't know it, it's speed char, like speed character, but only speed char. So when I made my first video for Blender, there are a lot of people telling me about these shortcuts, which I thank him. I thank the first ones, by the way, because after the first one, I knew it already. And this shortcut is pretty good. So now I'm making the mouth with a smooth brush, with the draw sharp brush. And I always look at here to see what brush is it. Now we're on the grab brush, because I'm used with the brushes from ZBrush. So I'm still a little bit, you know, not used how to call those brushes. I know them, I know how to use them, but I don't know how to call them because, yeah. So here I will use the draw brush, then the draw sharp brush for the nose, and let's go closer to see what the nose looks like. Okay, the nose is like this and like this, and it has nostrils, and then we have this kind of straight down. And if we need to make this smaller, I mean this gap to make it smaller, I go to P. No, I don't go to P, I go to P. When you press P, you will get to this brush, which is the pinch brush. P is pinch. Of course, if you don't know what pinch is, it's doing this. It's just getting things closer together. It's very useful for some applications. I use it pretty often, by the way. This is one of my used brushes, most used brushes. So P, again, here. We can make this a bit more, you know. And then I will just make this upper part a bit more narrow. Because you see how the upper part is narrower. Let me show you again, if I can. Okay, now it's more like this. You see? This is the form, and then we have this here, and the nose. And then the mouth a little bit like this. It's smiling. And then, of course, we can make the teeth. Very important, by the way. And he will be with this eyebrows like this. He will be a little mad, you know, a little bit mad. And maybe the mouth can be like this, and then teeth here, and the tongue inside. And he's like war cry. He's like, I'm going to war. No, okay. But the main idea is that here it's narrower, and then it's going to be wider in the bottom. So let's do this. Let's do this, guys. This guy. With our draw sharp brush, I will, with control, I will drag like this. Of course, this will be with control if I have made this switch, because by default it's minus, and then you will do it just by default without control. But I like it to be on plus, so I change this always when I start Blender anew. Of course, there is a way, I'm sure, that I can save all those preferences. You know, when you go to edit preferences, here in the bottom you will see auto save preferences, and this is on. You obviously see the click here is on. So these are the three arrows here, not arrows, but three just lines. Auto save preferences is on, but still it doesn't save that. It saves the emulate 3D button mouse, it saves the orbit around selection. This is very good, but some things it doesn't save. It saves the keys sometimes, but this it doesn't. So for the brushes, by the way, let me just move it here. So the mouse is looking a little bit better. Okay, now the keys are working again. I will inflate this area below the cheeks. I don't want them to be that much visible. And you see how even if I smooth here with my smooth brush, it doesn't smooth it very well. Why? Because the geometry here is messed up. So basically, when we are happy with our head, we have to do a retopologizing of the head. And retopologizing of also other parts. But let's not get too much to it yet, because we have other things to do. First, let's see where are the eyes and where they will be. So I will make this kind of smaller. I like it to be a little bit smaller. And then the eyes. So the bottom part of the eyes, if you notice, is around the bottom part of the nose. And in our case it's not, so we have to go down and maybe go to the eyes and not move them here, although we can. We have the option to move them here, so we can, by the way, yeah, we can move them here a little bit, but I often not opt to move them from here. I go back to object mode and then move them there, but it's okay. Press G, but don't move them with G because you will distort them like this. It's not good. Don't move them at all with G. Even with big move brush, don't move them. The eyes. it will be awful. It will be a disaster most of the time, so be careful with that. I will try to make the hole for the eye a little bit more circular, because now it's not circular at all. It's not looking very circular. I want to be more like circle. Not me, myself. I don't want to be a circle, basically. I want the hole to be as a circle, more or less. Yeah. Okay. Here we can make something like a chin, but not super huge. I mean, it has to be very subtle. Everything should be subtle here. We have to be subtle. I'm subtle. With P, I'm just making this a bit more interesting, like this, here. And this probably shouldn't be that much forward. I will put it back a little bit. Yes. And I'm rotating from all angles and trying to make it round, to make it nice looking from all angles. Since we are 3D artists, we have to make sure everything looks good from all angles, not from one angle or two angles, no, all angles. Yeah. And make sure our eyeballs are pretty big, because if they are small, they will not fit our purpose. They will not be good. And here, with control, I will go and just make the eye socket a bit bigger. Although this eye socket is not very well visible in the concept, it's probably there. So let's go to the ears now. Let's refining them. Why not? Now the ears are not looking great. We have to refine them. How to do that? Of course, Shift R, go down and Control R. And now I will smooth. But I will not smooth this part here because it's too thin. So I'm smoothing just inside. And now what I will try to do is maybe from this side, because it's more comfortable for me to do this kind of line instead of this line. So I'll go this, and I will go with the draw brush, make it a little bit smaller. With Control, I will try to achieve this kind of result. You see? Let me see the ear. So the ear, in this area here, this is thick, and then it becomes thinner and disappears. So that's what we have to achieve here. Basically a little bit thicker. This goes inward like this, and I will smooth only this part, the inner part. The other part I don't smooth. I smooth only the inner part here. So this is smooth. It's looking good. And then I can, with G, which is the grab brush or moving, I will grab and move those inward, those things a little bit like this. This, moving, up, and smooth. And it's starting to take shape. With the draw brush, I will push, then smooth this area, smooth this, and then smooth. No, don't smooth everything, because then you will have to go and with inflate brush, you have to inflate it a little bit. And here you see we have problems from behind, and I will just smooth this area here. We'll see what happens. This doesn't look super cool, but it's okay. I mean, it's normal to have these issues. We can basically make sure we don't have these issues, but we can enable the back-facing mask, which is, by the way, like most options for the brushes in the tool. The brush, and where is that? We press N and we go to tool. And here we will have a lot of options like advanced topology. With this option we can move some things without touching others, very important by the way. And also we have, let me see, where was this? Front faces. Yes, this is, I think we will work on this faces here without touching the others. If the front faces is, it was off. interesting. But where the mesh is thin, sometimes this will be bad. Let's try. Yes, you see, the back face is starting to come out, especially with the bigger brush and bigger thing. You see what happens, and if the front faces is on, it's masking the back faces and it's not touching them, which is in many cases is great, especially when we work on this kind of a thin objects. It's a pretty good idea to have these front faces on. So these are a little bit advanced things that you will need maybe later in your life, not now. But it's good to know. It's good to know that it's there. Yeah. So these ears are looking kind of nice. I will go ahead with Shift R and make them even with smaller polygons, Control R, and then I can very easily, with very little press, I can smooth. And now we have good ears. Of course, good ear. These are the tires that we are making here, good ear. From the side view, I will try for those ears not to be very distorted. From the back view, I will also kind of smooth them if I have to. And of course, at the end, we probably will retopologize also them too. But that's another thing. Retopologizing will allow us to have a nice geometry, and smooth will be better. Yeah, we'll see. We can retopologize by hand, which is slow. For example, for this character, it will be a few hours. But for more complex character, retopologizing could take tens of hours of work, which is a lot. And that's where this quad remesh plugin or add-on in this case will come to an aid. For example, let me show you. Without the quad remesh, let's press N and remove this. So first, let's go to this square and go to, not to the square, to the triangle, this triangle here, and go to remesh. And we have few options. The voxel remesher we are using all the time. This is just to, if we have some stretch polygons to fix it and everything, just to have the main form. But this is not good for the end result. We go to quad remesher. And what this does is, let's just duplicate this mesh, go to our object mode with Control Tab, and now with Control Tab object mode, and now Shift D to duplicate, and instead of moving it around, we press the right mouse button, and it just stays there. And we have ears and ears 001 now here. So I will remove this for now, because this is technical. Now ears 001, we want to remesh them. Let's try. So quad remesher, when we press it, it will go this window, quadrifold remesh. So 4000 is too much for these ears. Let's try like 2000 and press OK. And let's see what happens. It's not very nice. It's not very nice. Let me try to enable the wireframe. You can enable the whole wireframe of your whole model of everything by going here and wireframe. And you can enable the opacity of the wireframe, how huge will it, but whatever, yeah. From here, wireframe. You see, this is this strange thing, viewport overlays. So the wireframe. And you see how the topology is not very great. If we make it by hand, it will be better. But let me Control Z a few times. If we make it with the quad remesh, which is the add-on. By the way, this add-on is written by the same guy that has made the Z-remesher for ZBrush, and the Z-remesher for ZBrush is the best hands-down remesher automatical retopology tool in the world. And this guy has made the quad remesher, which is plugin or add-on for Blender, plugin for Maya or whatever. He has it for Maya, for Blender, for Max, for all these programs he has it, but it's paid. It's around $60, I think, the one license, and the pro license is $100 or whatever, but it's inevitable to have this. It will save you so much time. It will save you hours of retopologizing, because even for render you need to retopologize your mesh in order to have cleaner topology without this kind of strange things going on. And let's try this guy on 2000 again, like the free quad remesher here, and we will go with symmetry on X, the quad count, and then just remesh it. I can see that this is amazing. This is almost as if we have done manual remeshing. You see, everything is very good. The flow of the polygons is amazing, but these ears are not the best showcase of this remesher. And I will show you the best showcase of this remesher maybe later, not now. And I will tell you what is it, by the way. It's the arms and the fingers mostly. If we have fingers and arms and we want to remesh them, manual, it will be hell. It will be difficult. It's not very nice. But not ever you will find a remesher that will do better job than this one, the quad remesher. So yeah. And if you don't know how to work with add-ons, I will tell you about that, but later. I'm just mentioning it now. Later we'll see. So let's remove the wireframe for now. By the way, let me tell you a little bit something about working a little bit more easy in ZBrush, in Blender. So if we want, for example, we are using this wireframe here. We are using something else constantly. And if we want to make our job a little bit easier, we can add it to a quick menu. So in every option here in Blender, if you go to it and press right mouse button, you will have this option, add to quick favorites. If we press it, now it's on our quick favorites. Where are those quick favorites, you will ask? Where are they? Press the Q key, quick favorites. And now wireframe is here. We can disable and enable it very easily because it's in our quick favorites. So we can put there many things. I like to keep it very clean, to not put many things on quick favorites, because it will be like Q and then one big list and I will have to find things. So 2 or 3 things is the best. Wireframe is good to have, so I keep it there. Sometimes. Because next time when I start Blender, it will be gone, probably. But we haven't finished working on the head, by the way. Control tab down. Now, see how fast I do. Control tab down. Ooh. Control tab down. Ooh. You see, control tab now is doing nothing. Why? Because I have no object selected. I just deleted the copy of the ears and I have no object selected. So I have to select one object and control tab down, go to, yeah. So if you don't have anything selected, it will be difficult. So now I'm making the smile a little bit nicer. Here we can add a bit of a wrinkly skin around you. When you smile, this kind of thing here, like this, we can add it. Yeah, obviously, but it's fine, it's fine. Then the lower lip, it could work just here in the middle and then it will disappear, but I think it's a good idea to have it, this lower lip, like it's visible in here. It's here. Yeah, I think this is looking relatively nice. I'm not happy with my result, especially in these stages, because they are kind of work in progress stages and not, yeah, you can't be very happy with it in any case. So I'm not. Yes. Okay, so in the next video, what we'll do? We have to connect probably the body with the other things. Let's make the body a little bit thinner. We don't need it to be that thick, because the switcher, what is this, switchered? Yeah, maybe. Above it, it will make this kind of a bulkiness But the body below should be kinda weak. Thin. It shouldn't be that thick as I made it. Too thick. I'll smooth it, and we probably will make a tail at some point. The legs I don't like because they're not completely round, you see? They are kind of like planes. I don't like that. So I will inflate some areas of them. The side, just the side. Of course I have to first select them. It will be easier. If I don't select them, it will be hard to do anything on them. And I'm inflating just the sides with not a very big brush. Just so I make sure that they are kind of round. Okay. It doesn't look super nice, but for now it's working. I will move this closer. I want them to be closer together. And you probably should want them to be closer together. And yeah. This should start working. Hopefully. Of course, the legs themselves maybe shouldn't be that big. I made them too huge. So with the big move brush, I will just try to move them closer to the leg, the feet. And they are fine. They are fine. I don't hate them, if we can say. But we will refine them and the other things more in the coming months. Okay, let's just show the backdrop. Press 1 on the numpad and see. Yeah, it's kind of okay. I mean, we are having this. Maybe the legs, not the legs, the arms will be a little bit bigger at some point. But for now, it's working. Let's Alt-Z. And the eyes definitely should be bigger. They are kind of small now. And not so close together, probably. Yes. So I'll go to the head with Alt-Q. And try to make it bigger, but this will happen with probably moving the eyes. So I will go to the eyes themselves, go to this move, and just move them forward a little bit. And they will be bigger. And move them on the side like this. And they will be bigger. Probably this is too big, so I'll move them backward. And they will be smaller, because they will go in. And this big, maybe it's better. Maybe it's better. And the form of the head I don't like. I think, oops, no. Control Z, okay, thank you. Press G to have my grab brush. And then like this. Okay, here from the side view, I need to have forehead. Big forehead is nice. Without forehead is not nice. Nah, overall it's not bad. I mean, we can always do better, but it's fine. So, with this bombshell, we are going to the next video because this video became pretty large.